Hello, my name is Coble and I'm with Blacklight Solutions. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to bring agility to your data products. Remember, in agile development, working features are valued rather than documentation, and in business intelligence, creating incremental changes to solutions that start with a minimal investment of time and resources is the key to a lean analytics development effort. To illustrate my point, I'm going to be focusing on some telecommunications data from a client where identifying information has been removed for demonstration. Telecommunications companies use switches that often write every single call they make into a log file. Companies bound to traditional, smaller data tools will see detailed investigation of these records as prohibitively expensive, and they're typically archived for regulatory reasons with only gross aggregates being stored and available for reporting. The limitation is that creating a data warehousing solution that can effectively load, aggregate, and clean all of this data challenges development capacity, and while call detail mediation platforms exist, they're often in the tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars in licensing costs and then require additional customization. On the dashboard, we see here some analysis that was assembled from these log files in just a few hours on each connection group. We're taking advantage of a number of Yellowfins features in order to quickly put together an analytics product with a number of features right out of the box as soon as our data is loaded. For example, we're linking this filter here to all of the reports on the dashboard so that if we change which connection group we're looking at, we instantly get all of the data for the new connection group for every report on our dashboard here. And we can see both the ingress information as well as no egress information and all the statuses and time series available here. And we can switch to other groups very quickly with a very responsive application searching directly on the data on these groups. We're also taking advantage of Yellowfin's drill through so that if we select a particular category here, we can easily see all of the call details that roll up into that category. We're also taking advantage of Yellowfin's report summaries, which are a dense presentation of metrics and dimensions across the particular report that we're displaying, as well as Yellowfin's brushing and linking, so that if we select a particular category, we can actually set it to filter the entire dashboard for that category. So now we're just looking at reports on that particular category as another way to slice up what we're analyzing. Now, the reasons companies don't engage this kind of development are often common across industries today. Machine-generated data is high volume, high velocity, and a development cycle could include expensive tooling and development hours to design a data warehouse and process the data into it. However, statistics like the ones we're seeing here are quite high value, as is the ability to search for individual records with techniques like drill-through. So the lean approach is really to invest as little as possible to get things going until we realize what kind of value we're going to get out of our data product and have a chance to analyze that value through stakeholder or customer feedback. In this case, rather than going through a lengthy extract, transform, and load process into a fully designed data warehouse solution, we're simply loading the log files directly into MongoDB. MongoDB is an open source NoSQL database which is fast and easy to scale to terabytes of data. Because of the features of MongoDB, we're able to easily load billions of minutes of raw call data into it. And you can see we have a few simple collections in our MongoDB database. The one we'll be using here is ICDRs. You can also see that the raw data in ICDRs is actually quite nasty. It's 170 interdependent fields that include things like this custom formatted time value, as well as XML snippets, which would require further processing in order to get any value of in an information retrieval process. But remember, the idea here, in order to keep the effort lean, is that we start with the minimum and then grow our solutions features incrementally as we learn, verifying our steps at each point. Given that the raw log files are actually already loaded into MongoDB, we turn back to Yellowfin here and take a look at how we're connecting to MongoDB. In order to do that, we actually use our data virtualization solution, DataCurrent, in order to make the MongoDB instance that we're connecting to look just like a normal database to Yellowfin. So DataCurrent actually sets as a virtual database that we use a special connection string to connect to. And once we do connect to it, it actually comes back as though we're just connecting to a normal database with the collections we saw earlier available right here as though they're database tables. Now, turning to the Yellowfin View Builder, we can actually go in and see the actual data table that's coming out of DataCurrent, which is based on that MongoDB collection. And if we look at the properties of it, we actually see are 170 fields coming across as though they're fields here, and we've selected a subset of those in order to analyze on our dashboard. Once we do that, we can actually go ahead and use Yellowfin to give them friendly names so that anybody, including a business analyst, would now have access to this rich log file data and could begin to build reports on it. So coming back to the dashboard, you can see here what we've built is a very responsive dashboard with a set of data product features that were assembled with a lean development philosophy using lightweight and open source tools in just a few hours. The smallest investment was made to first see if we could use the data, if it's useful, and if it contains information that our users would be interested in. And next, we can incrementally build and verify that solution with additional features, business rules, and later on even predictive calculations.